In this lesson, we are going to look at setting financial goals. Now, for many people, this may be really tough, but you need to know that this is very critical. This is a critical step in financial planning. So let's get started. First, let's look at why goals. Top level athletes, successful business people, and all kinds of achievers set goals for themselves. Setting goals gives you both a long-term vision and a short-term motivation. And we'll see how. It focuses, and this is critical, it focuses your acquisition of knowledge and helps you organize your time and your resources so that you can make the most of your life. By setting sharp, clearly defined goals, you can actually measure the progress you are making and take pride in the achievement of these goals or milestones. And as you will see, unless you have some kind of markers to give you feedback that you're on the right track or not, life will seem like a long, pointless grind and wondering why you're doing what you're doing. On the other hand, when you have goals and milestones, as you achieve them, your self-confidence will grow, and that's a bonus. You need to set your personal goals now, meaning now, before you proceed with the rest of the course. First, you need to look at the really big picture, the really big picture. What do you want to do with your life over the say next 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, depending on your age and station in life. Setting these large scale goals will give you an idea of your mission in life. And don't make them 10 goals and all that. Just select one. You can list all the 10 that you think, and out of that you select one or two as your big picture goals or mission. Then you break these down into smaller and smaller targets. Now these targets are also called milestones in business circles that help you know whether you're on track and how you're going to achieve your lifetime goal. Finally, you need to have a plan with the timeline, and it needs to be in writing. Put it down on paper. Start working to achieve your goals. This is why the start of the process of setting goals starts with looking at your lifetime goal. Then you work down to the things that you can do, let's say in the next 5 years or in the next year, and then in the next month, then the next week, and in fact today. So you can start moving towards your lifetime goal. Now financial goals are categorized into broadly 3 categories. Short-term goals that are less than 1 year or 12 months. Medium-term goals that are between 1 and 3 years, and long-term goals that are between 3 and 10 years. Now you can also add very long-term goals over 10 years if it is appropriate. For example, if your retirement is more than 10 years away, let's say 20 years away, then you can add a goal there too and call them very long-term goals or VLT. Each goal needs to have a reason. It's very important. So you won't, later down the road, you will not forget why you put that goal in. It will remind you of the reason you had the goal in the first place today. And state it in a written document. Write it down. Very important. Critical, I may add. Discard all minor goals like buying a new car or a bike or a cycle or whatever. These are minor goals that will be covered in properly defined major goals of one 1 year, medium or long term, where you will cover the money angle. The money will let you buy your new car or bike or cycle or whatever else you are planning, or a TV. Include goals like children's education and manages in your short, medium and long term categories. For example, you may have a goal saying admission to play school and kindergarten in your short term. Then you may have admission to primary school in your medium term. And in the long term, admission to college and universities. And around that time will also come marriages. The children would be of marriageable age, and so you need to have some goals on that area also. These are very important areas of lives of human beings. Now, within each category, prioritize. Now, when I say prioritize, you may have 10 goals in each category. Now, when you prioritize, you'll say first priority, second priority. No. Select one must achieve goal in each category. Like that is, I have to do this or no point in doing anything. That kind of seriousness is attached to that particular goal. Select one must achieve goal in each category. And lastly, but definitely not the least, each goal must have a money figure and a timeline attached. I want to make 1 crore rupees is not a goal. I want to make 1 crore rupees in the next 3 years is a goal. So there is a timeline attached and a money figure attached. I want to say a few words about investable surplus, which you would have calculated in the exercise worksheet of this lesson. Investable surplus is the sum of money remaining with you after you have met all your expenses and possibly some foreseeable short-term expenses in the future. Typically, major expenses occur after retirement. These years where these expenses may occur may result in a negative cash flow. That means you may not be building your wealth, but in fact you may be using up your wealth, spending your wealth. However, a strong financial situation, that means if you have planned well after your retirement, you have enough wealth around planned so that you can take care of these expenses without any strain. This is how a typical investable surplus chart looks. It slowly increases as you start working and culminates in a peak. When you retire, you get your gratuity and all those other retirement perks. And then after that, the income or surplus income dries up. When the surplus income dries up, you start spending and start using your investable surplus, which has been invested well so as to give you a return better than inflation. I know that financial goals are tough, but they are absolutely critical. Thank you.